Welcome back to Girls Rewatch,
a podcast about girls,
TV, and girls on TV.
I'm Amelia
And
Retaller.
I'm Evan Lazarus, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 10, St. Mark's.
Season 2 finale. We are rushing through the show.
I know, we really are. And by the way, it's also taking up a quarter of my life.
Really, it feels like it's going by really fast, but then I'm like, I guess we did do it a while ago.
Yeah.
I guess we did.
That's 20 weeks.
I know. How are you? It's almost Valentine's Day.
Right. It's coming out. Yeah, it's coming out 3 days after Valentine's Day. You know,
or
perfect.
before.
It's coming out before Valentine's Day?
This Tuesday.
Oh my God, that's quick. Wow. Okay, so we're coming almost right at you. So we can actually have our current events on this one.
Yeah, so Super Bowl's tonight. Go Chiefs.
What's your prediction who's going to win just based off vibes, and you don't have to know anything about football?
So, Taylor's gonna win. And that's all I'll say.
Right. Well, I'm hearing rumor that if the Chiefs win, that Travis Kelce will take the Super Bowl ring and give it to Taylor as an engagement ring.
I don't think that girl should marry that guy.
Well, it's going to happen.
Oh, gosh.
I think it's inevitable. I think, and I hate to say this, their end game.
Their end game?
Yeah, I've seen Invisible String.
I love that song,
long.
Betty, and Invisible String and Champagne Problems. Folklore was actually really good, which not enough people are kind of talking about. Everybody loved Midnight so much, but they hated Tortured Poet Department. I'm like, why aren't we discussing Folklore anymore?
Well, I was having a conversation where it's like the thing about Taylor Swift when it comes to Tortured Poets, she's gotten so big and she's written so many songs for each album. Like there's like 30 songs for each album that we never got to hear. And when she came to Tortured Poets Department, she didn't want to be so tortured about picking out what songs to be on the album, and she just released them all. And it's like, okay, sometimes an artist is allowed to do that, and yes, you're not going to win a Grammy for that, but you are going to at least satisfy your creative urge.
Taylor Swift is 34, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you ever think about how Taylor Swift is mother at the Grammys this year? Truly,
she's one of the oldest people
she's
there.
One of the oldest women there. And it's this is crazy. I mean, it's awesome. So many girls her age got kicked out of the industry, and she's maintained her reign. But it's for her to be the oldest, wisest girl. It's 34-year-olds are just getting their careers started. It's crazy what she's been through and how young she truly still is.
Well, think about the time that we thought Alicia Cara would stay at the Grammys for a long time, but she only made it a 2 or 3 seasons.
Oh my God.
It's devastating to think about that.
Before the Grammys on last Sunday, I watched a TikTok and it showed clips of the last 10 years of the best new artists. Chapel won. But all these artists, I was like, who the hell is that?
No, I know.
Where are they?
Well, it's because, and everyone's saying this, so it's nothing new, but this was a big year for pop music.
It was
it's
a big year
for just new musicians. It was, for some reason, this election year really turned out a new circus of people.
It's because recession.
Yeah. It's just a changing of the guard in almost every capacity in America.
Because do you guys remember DJ Earworm's United State of Pop 2008? Peak recession.
Everyone
one of the best
gets
songs
chills when you say the sentence. DJ
Earworm's United State of Pop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I literally just gave myself. Okay, episode synopsis really quick, and then we'll probably dive right into our guests because there's 2 of them. So we've got lots of
there's a lot to talk about.
Season 2, episode 10, St. Mark's. It is Ilana's 23rd birthday, and Abbi has surprised her by booking a fancy reservation at a Biob restaurant where they bring their own wine, but when they show up, of course, Adie Bryan and Connor O'Malley are there, and they're being so annoying and talking about their solo show, and Ilana spills the wine on Abbi, so they have a reason to leave the restaurant and get away from that couple. And then a kind of chaos ensues. They're walking around St. Mark's, all the characters, all the extras, it's a whole
they're doing
thing.
Some shopping.
They buy wigs, they buy t-shirts, they see Tree Man on stilts. They run into somebody who is a boy who looks like he's a teen runaway. Ilana's he probably came out to his family and he got kicked out and had to move to the streets and perform.
Right.
But he's actually a really rich 34-year-old son who refuses to get a job, and he steals Abby's gift for Ilana, and then they run through the city trying to catch him, and then they wind up at his nice ass house in the West Village where his mom is I am so sorry about my 34-year-old son. And she yells. It's Patricia Clarkson. She eats the roll up. She also plays the mom in Easy A, which is cool. And then the episode ends with the 2 of them eating pizza and talking about how excited they are for the new year.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
This is an episode based around eavesdropping too, which is so fun. There's so many moments of just picking up on New York when Alana's left outside the store and she's listening to the Italian man go through a breakup. There's beautiful little soliloquies in this episode.
Legit, and I'm so excited for our guest Prostazov joining us on the couch today. Is the
Oh
one,
my
the
God.
only Annabel and Sabina Meschke.
Oh my God, thank you for joining the pod today.
Of course, it's our honor and pleasure.
The way
Such
we've
a
been meaning to
vibe.
have you on the pod since we launched. You've been on a Google sheet for years at this point.
I felt it. Every time someone puts me on a
rent-free in
Google sheet. You know, it's like when people say like when you sneeze, that means someone's thinking about you. Like whenever I fart, I know I'm put in a Google sheet.
I know sometimes I'm like, wait, everyone's mad at me, and then Zach Shipman's like, you're in my notes app. And I'm like, all right, I feel okay. I
No,
feel
literally,
good.
you feel it. You feel it. I feel it, and I'm
I
so
love
happy
it.
to be here.
You
on the
guys are
couch.
so New York to me because before I moved here, I followed everybody I could on Twitter that lives in Brooklyn.
Oh my God.
And you guys were like famous stars to me. And I was like, when I moved to New York, I'm going to meet people like Annabel and Sabina.
This is adding years to my life.
But then I met actually you two directly.
Yeah, literally. And then you were like, oh,
Yeah.
never mind. You're like, oh,
I'm good. I'm actually good.
Never meet your heroes.
really freaking dead.
It is like never meet NYU students. They'll scare you real
Honestly,
bad.
that is true.
Yeah, it's true. I
true.
feel like we've been out of NYU for long enough that we're almost human again, which is actually really good.
Yeah, it's out of our system, I think.
Well, I would
Ready
say
to shake it off?
almost.
Almost,
We're close. We're getting
definitely
there.
not like not yet,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
soon.
I think it's like how some people say once you're in New York for 10 years, that makes you a New Yorker. Maybe once you're out of NYU for 10 years, then you can scratch it from the record.
in 2028, I will be normal.
Of course.
And
Watch
still
this
got
space.
Yeah, we got a lot of
Big
time.
things- big
We
things
got
coming.
a lot of time. That is so awesome. Literally, period. That makes me literally
Period.
smile.
Wait, but for the folks at home, what is your deal?
Deal. We are identical twins,
Identical twins.
and we do comedina. And we've lived in New York for 10 years.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
And we were a freshman at NYU when Broad City was airing like live. It was crazy. We would all gather in the
Yeah.
dorms and whatnot.
Oh,
Um,
that was awesome.
We
Yeah.
would gather in the dorm.
would
Yeah,
gather in
watch
the
it
dorms and watch it.
live.
And it really like
I was shushing people. I was like, my show's on, my
Yeah.
program.
the program.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's so
And I
historical.
had the
crazy.
shirt that said Broad fucking City on it. And then at that time, there was a guy who literally got kicked off a flight because he had that shirt on, and one of the
Oh my God.
flight attendants was like, that's profanity, and wouldn't let him fly. And I was like, I literally flew wearing that very same shirt. But, you know,
Put her on the no-fly list.
no, literally, I was scared. I was like, they're going to lock me away.
I can't believe they would make that rule.
No, it was so
Literally.
crazy.
Silly.
I was like, it was on the news. I was like, that's so nuts. Like, I got kicked off
Sabina
a
got me a
flight
shirt that says cleaner for cause of
Like, from
for
the-
cause of Abby.
for cause of Abby on
And
account.
you
Abby.
chose not to wear it today.
I chose not to wear it. I got rid of it so long ago. It's
Maybe so
hilarious.
immediately after I bought it for
Honestly, immediately, but it just didn't go with my vibe.
When I'm here, you both have Broad City merch and chose not to wear it today,
Yeah,
which
I
is
know.
cool.
Dumb.
you. It's like
stupid.
it left our lives, but never our hearts. When this episode came out, we had just turned 18, so we're channeling that today.
Wait, really?
Yeah, remember we did the math?
Oh yeah, we just turned 18 when
Yeah.
this
Oh.
episode of this what we're talking about today came
And
out.
wait, you guys were literally living on St. Mark's technically.
We our first apartment was on 2nd Avenue and 4th, so we were like a stone's throw. We were
Yeah.
always up in St. Mark's, and also so every NYU student was all up in there because
Yeah, that's where you could get piercings with a fake ID.
of course.
And they had a Chipotle that then they closed.
R.I.P. May she
They
rest.
I
are
love
always
Chipotle.
closing down the Chipotle.
I'm literally
They're trying to
upset.
silence Chipotle voices.
Well,
What else
Chipotle
is
used to be
there?
fringe, and that's why it made sense on St.
Absolutely,
Mark's, but
yeah.
it's grown in such a
I know.
insane way.
Now
They
it's
took it away. I
mainstream.
was so upset. There's the spot dessert bar. I'm like, I'm walking down St. Mark's in my little mind. What else is they have this like a thrift store that has like crazy random porn as well that they sell.
That's Search and Destroy. Isn't that
Yeah,
the place?
yeah.
it's
so.
called Search and Destroy.
I believe
Absolutely.
so. And they're like, we sell fucked up porn, but you cannot bring your latte in here. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I think it's funny.
No
that they're
open
like,
containers, but there is stuff that would get us on a list.
literally.
I felt
it's-
so baller going in there. I bought one T-shirt there once. I was like,
Wow.
just
You kept the
counterculture.
bag.
Yeah.
Literally, I am counterculture.
No, literally.
Buys a
NYU
t-shirt.
student. NYU
Oh
student
my
on St.
God.
Mark's.
That's so
Oh my
funny.
god. God, what a
You
nightmare.
can't swing a cat without hitting an NYU student. on the same one.
Amen.
And I have an amazing question for you guys
Well.
now.
Girl, what girl are you?
Well, when the show was airing, Annabelle didn't smoke weed at all.
What?
Whoa.
I know.
So back in the day,
Crazy.
and like I feel like every pair of girls back then in the squircles that we were in, people being taking UCB classes, etc. Like everybody was like Ilana, Abby, and I still think the way that I think of it is I'm like Ilana, Sun, Abby, Rising, and Moon, and Annabelle is the opposite. And so
If we're going by the big three,
astrologically. But back in the day, Annabelle didn't smoke weed at all. And so I was kind of like stoner, queer.
But
like,
I think now, I think it's switched now. I think I'm very Ilana.
Oh, but
now.
you're I hate
true.
to out you, you're straight.
I know, but both of them. Wait, is Abby not queer?
No, they're
She
both
in the
gay.
show.
She becomes gay.
Oh,
She
in the
becomes
show,
gay.
that's right.
I
Right at the
recall
end. Right at
this.
the end.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, and also, well, yeah.
well, yeah.
I can't
But-
believe you didn't smoke weed in college. That changes like my
I was-
entire
Oh.
understanding.
And when
of
we
you.
lived together,
I was really
when
scared
we were living on our in our first apartment, Annabelle wouldn't let me smoke in the open. She made me use like a smoke buddy and spray like the OZM spray to cover up the smell. She wouldn't let me leave my weed stuff out. I was living
It's
with a
because
cop.
weed was illegal at the time, and I was afraid of getting in trouble. And
I was like
so-
that in high school. Like my friend would smoke weed and I would hide in the closet because the cops would come to her house.
That's obviously hilarious. And also, weirdly, in high school, I was like completely unafraid of like the law or like death. And so I was sort of,
I was scared of that stuff in high school because
we're
whenever
from
I
Florida,
had
and so we were doing some fuck shit.
when
in
I
high
had
school.
weed, the like 2 times I had possession of weed in high school, I literally buried it in the woods near my house because but I wasn't scared of the law. I was scared of my mother, which
Right.
is scarier than the law.
Yeah, scarier than the law, 100%. But yeah, I think, I feel, I don't know, in terms of what girl am I? It is definitely maybe like Sabina, Ilana, me, Abby.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what I
so.
think.
But what would you guys like think?
No, I'm actually, now that you guys have brought it up, both amazing points of one of you could be Alana, one of you could be Abby, and we went vice versa. I think you're both Alana.
Okay,
See,
period.
Honestly,
I
that's
didn't
what I was
realize
thinking
that was
too.
okay. I thought
You're
we
allowed
had to
to do
pick.
that.
I thought we had
to
to do that.
me,
Well,
both are
because it's a
so
duo.
Alana
Okay,
because it's
period.
like you guys know about weed in a way I don't.
Absolutely.
And
There
I feel
is,
like
yeah, I
you
love
like
weed
have
stuff.
like
Well,
a
you guys
cartwheel
like weed in a
sensibility.
vintage way.
I
The
love
way
that
you
kind of
guys
stuff.
talk about weed.
I love that
I love
stuff.
it.
I love. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to be so.
Annabelle is so much more like hot, like all up in the stoner business than I am these
I think
days.
it's like in the absence of like sports, I'm like I love to wear like weed stuff and smoke weed and be like hell yeah, I love this stuff.
yeah,
It's
it's
kind of
on
like-
for
it's-
your team.
Yeah, 100%. I understand how like football fans feel wearing jerseys when I'm like wearing like a weed shirt and like ripping
That's
my bong
so
with scrap
true.
from Ice Age on it, my scrap bong. I love like weed accessories and things.
That's
and
true.
I love
Honestly,
that.
yeah, these days we are both Ilana. We're 2 Ilanas, which actually does make sense. Being identical twins, we can be the same.
Right.
We can be same. We forget this.
we forget
I do low key want to know what girls you are in girls.
Oh, a girl and girls. Oh goodness.
Hmm.
Well,
You
I
grab
don't
my
think.
shoulder for that.
No, you need.
Gosh, I've thought about this too. Wait, fuck. Let me.
Sorry,
Annabelle.
I know this wasn't on the Google
No,
calendar.
it's
No.
allowed. Wait, Annabelle, what girl do you think I am? And I'll say what girl I think you is.
Oh goodness. Oh, do you think I'm Shosh?
I don't think you're.
Okay, period.
I don't necessarily think that you are Shosh.
I just have lots of like peculiarities
of course,
and sensory overload
So maybe you are Shosh.
thresholds.
But no, you're not as outwardly neurotic. I
You
would
can
say.
tell that you guys are in couples therapy. It's coming through.
Okay, wait, I'm not cool enough to be Jessa. Obviously, I don't fuck that hard, if at all. And I think that
I honestly think it
I'm
could be
not-
a similar situation where we're both the same one. I think we might both be Hannah. Because I think we're both like we are so like a little crazy and
That's true.
cuckoo caca.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you definitely read as a Hannah.
Okay, cool.
And you could
I'm
be
okay
a male
with that, I guess.
character.
Okay, exactly. I'm like maybe I'm
Ray?
more like fucking Ray
Yeah,
or like
like-
Adam or something like that. Like
I'm
You're
like you're
not
kind of
Adam.
you're kind of Adam, but not in like any
Not-
real way.
Well, honestly,
Not in, like,
maybe
a
you guys are
violent way.
Lincoln and Alana.
honestly,
Because we are.
honestly, and I feel like we are Lincoln and Alana in the way that I'm like the chill, like I do what she says, I do what the missus says, kind of a vibe. I'm like she's coming into my work as I'm doing
We are
dental
not-
work on a child,
Not
and-
beating the queer baiting allegation.
no, 100%.
You're like I'm sexually fluid, and you're like I want to get married so bad.
please, let's get
the old ball
married.
and chain, literally. Okay, that's true too. Honestly, I could
That
be a male
quacks
character.
It does sound like you guys need more therapy, though.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
We're- and
The
we
journey's
are-
never ending.
Would you guys
We're
ever
works in
go on that
progress.
couples therapy show with Orna?
Oh,
Honestly,
yes.
yeah, but it's like those people.
They're bad.
sinister to me.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a
They
ton
make
of
it because it's not like entirely it's more documentary than reality TV, but it is also like there's a clear villain, and it's why is it always the man?
It's
Well,
the bald guy
yeah.
It's
who
always
burned
the-
down the town.
Don't
Yeah.
ask
It's
questions
bald
you
guy.
don't
Oh,
have
it's the
answers
bald man
to.
who burned down the town, obviously. Boy.
And then what
It's
girl
a
are you
bald
this
man.
week?
You already told me you diagnosed me without
I
getting
actually wrote down on her outline.
Wait, I love that.
So this week, Evan is Connor O'Malley, who I know to be 80 Brian's husband
Absolutely.
IRL.
Yeah.
Because he said I was born the day the Challenger exploded. And Evan, almost every time we meet anyone for the first time, he lets them know that he was born the same day Sex and the City aired.
Wait,
that's
that's
In
so
Manhattan.
electric.
Yeah,
Where
that's
God.
exciting.
In Manhattan.
No, that is huge.
That
is
was the
huge,
Big
Evan.
Bang. Wow.
Evan, that's huge.
That's so
Thank
unique.
you. And people react like this, and that's why I tell them. Amelia.
Literally, I'm
Hey,
so sorry,
hey,
Amelia. I'm
hey.
sorry to like leave you behind, but Evan, that's fucking huge.
Yeah, exactly, girl.
Yeah,
no
I'm
one's
so
ever had
sorry.
a negative reaction to
No,
that.
I love that. Especially, I'm so fucking elbow deep in Sex in the City. I'm on my like 7th rewatch. I'm like,
How else am I supposed to relate to people?
I haven't seen it all. Annabelle's seen it all many, many times.
Yeah, I'm on your side.
And I've like been told I know this is maybe a hot controversial thing to say, but it's like it doesn't feel amazing to have everybody ever that I've ever met who's seen the show be like, you are a Miranda, you are a Miranda, you are a Miranda. Miranda is good, but it's like everyone wants to be
They're just calling you a
It's
dyke.
like-
I know. I was like, call me gay, call me gay, call me gay, call me gay, call me a gay nerd, call me a gay nerd, call me a
that's
gay nerd.
what I'm a Samantha, but that's just because I'm a pervert. Kind of
Sure,
vibe.
sure, sure, sure.
The thing about Sex and the City is if I had watched it before I watched these two shows, I probably would have loved it. But since these are like the first shows I saw about girls living in the city, I was like, why are these girls like stop dating these guys?
Yeah.
They're like in their 30s, and that can be a horror, honestly,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
to the younger crowd. But once you start approaching that realm, it becomes comforting because then you're like, they're older than me and they're doing dumb shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
that could become.
also-
I feel like maybe I need to dive in.
Yeah,
It's such a
literally.
thing in Sex and the City. It's like, I don't know, maybe like they were like, STDs didn't exist then. And then they're like, you've never taken an STD test? Like, it's a whole episode. It's
No,
very
so-
funny.
well,
Hell
And then on
yeah.
Broad City, it's like, they're like, I'm going to get checked again. And like, it's like
It's on
awesome.
cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally,
It's on
they're having
cam.
like speculum in like scenes. I love it.
Well, the
Nasty.
thing about Sex in the City, it's like when you first watch, you're like, this is nonfiction.
100%.
And then the older you get, like, this is fiction, this is a real
Absolutely.
tale.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
It's
closer you
actually
get to
a
30
picture book.
Yeah, literally.
It's a picture.
I remember when I was a
It's
kid,
Goodnight Moon.
when I would hear about Sex in the City, I was so scandalized that there was a show that had the word sex in the title.
Yeah.
I was like, is that even allowed?
I remember we came to New York when we were like, I don't know, like so young. We were like American Girl doll store. That was our number one thing. That was like the age. And I remember seeing like ads for Sex and the City being like, Sex in the City.
Oh,
No,
What the
literally. I was
fuck? My
scandalized
God.
by sex and cussing. And I remember the first time I think it might have been the first time we visited New York when we were little baby kids. And there was like our hotel was across the street or like near where Chicago was. And the
The city of
thing,
Chicago.
we were not
Wait
in New
a
York at all.
second.
And there was like on the thing, it was like the best damn musical in New York City. I was like, damn. On a sign that I can see with my single digit age
I will
eyes.
say your stories don't track because you just said you came from South Florida.
It's true.
Oh,
We
wow.
were scandalized by like profanity, and then it like I think Florida upbringing. It's like for some reason I don't know. Also, my mom was like so non-committed to certain methods of parenting. She'd like give us like she'd try stuff, and
Yeah.
so like and very easily
She'd
abandon
try
it.
stuff.
Multimedia.
Yeah,
No,
like one
I've
time
seen
we were
short
at
form media of your mother. I know what she's up
100%.
to.
Also, every time someone meets our mom, they go, "That explains a lot." I go,
Yeah.
"All right." Well,
Choosing to take that
I'm like,
as a
I'm already
compliment.
having 2 therapists. You need to shut the fuck up. But
And our
literally-
mom used to be a therapist, and one time she looked at my old therapist and was like, I have the same degree as her. Why can't I be your therapist? And I was like, this is why I need another therapist.
100%. But oh yeah, one time we were at Disney
What was
and
the
my mom.
degree?
LCSW.
LCS dub.
It was like econ.
Yeah, literally. LOL. Wait, what was I
BFA.
going to say? Mom, growing up in Florida, our mom, like, when we were kids, she, like, randomly gave us, like, a doll that was an angel praying that said, like, the Lord's Prayer, like, as I lay me
What
down
the
to,
heck?
or whatever.
I don't
Remember?
remember
Oh, I
that.
love that
Was it the little
one.
bear?
No, it was literally an angel praying. And it said,
Girl.
and you pressed it, and it said, as I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep.
If I
And-
shall die before I wake, I
And
pray the Lord
I
my
pray
soul
the
to
Lord my
take.
soul to take.
Yeah.
Doll said that. And then also, then my mom kind of gave up on the religion. And then one time we went to Disney and I was misbehaving and she decided to bite my ear. Like she was whispering in my ear,
Whoa.
being like, shut the fuck up. And then she bit my ear and I literally was like, and then she obviously never tried that again.
The
and
Christian to biting pipeline.
Literally, that's the Florida
straight
vibe.
line.
Is like we were scandalized by cussing, and then my mom. Then I was bitten by my mom.
Damn. And then
Turned
you
me
turned
into
into a
my
mom.
mom. and then like once like middle school and high school starts in Florida, that's when people begin sucking fucking drugs.
That's all hell breaks loose.
It's so
Damn.
beautiful because
Yeah.
you guys were raised together but had completely different childhoods.
I literally was like, what the hell are you talking about, bro?
What do you mean, mom trying to
I
do
never got
different
bit by
stuff?
mom.
I was like the one mom experimented on because I was like the big chiller. I was always sort of just like whatever.
You guys don't have one shared memory.
Not at all. No, we
Not at all.
have each half of the memory.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why we're trying to patch
Everything
things
works.
together. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
exactly.
news to everything I say is news to you.
Likewise, there's so much stuff where you're like, thank God you remember that because I don't at all.
I know we really trade off.
Yeah,
It's-
we passed the plate.
I
Drama
hold the
stored
wisdom of
differently.
generations. I just haven't unlocked it yet.
Whoa.
Sure, limitless
whoa.
pill. You
Wait,
got it.
Amelia, I have a question for you.
What?
Girl, what girl are you?
Oh, I'm what's her name? Patricia Clarkson.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Oh, I
I'm
love
Timothy's
her.
mother because I would crash out and then do like a flick, a
Yeah, of
kickflip,
course,
and be
of course,
like,
of course.
"This is crazy, you guys.
No, that
Let's
was-
eat dinner now."
That was literally
So
so,
fabulous.
glamorous. I did notice in that scene that there was not a chair for her at the table, and I was like, "Girl,
Who
she's a
directed
hostess."
that?
Who
Yeah.
directed that? I said, "Should have been an empty chair."
Wait, that's so nuts.
no chair at the head of the
Not
table.
even for Elijah.
No.
I said, "What the hell?" Yeah, literally.
Not even for Elijah.
for Elijah, empty
God,
chair. Come on now.
You gotta save
that
one.
that teen boy who's 34 was so relatable to everybody I
wild.
know.
Of course.
I
That's
didn't
an
ask
NYU student,
to
mama.
be born. That's an NYU student.
That was yeah. The cosplaying as broke that NYU students engage in is so needs to be studied psychologically.
It is.
It's
my
so
God.
demented and twisted.
It's the richest people that'll Venmo request you for a nacho.
Oh my god, literally.
And
It's
I've been Venmo requested for a truffle fry nacho. I'm like, I know.
One truffle
For
fry.
one truffle fry.
A
Maybe
truffle
2,
fry.
3, 4, 7. Who cares? But it doesn't
Yes,
matter.
whatever.
If you can buy and sell me
For a
12 times
truffle
over,
fry.
like don't be Venmo requesting me
No,
for a
if
truffle
you can
fry.
say the phrase "my blank house" and you're not talking about your one house that you grew up in, then I'm not Venmoing you for a nacho. No,
you
no,
have
no.
multiple houses for multiple purposes and locations. I'm like,
Summer house, winter house, beach house, lake house. No.
I've never heard of so many houses before I came to NYU. I
No,
was
we
like,
just have the
I
one.
have my, I'm
The
like,
house.
we're children of divorce. I'm like, my mom's house and my dad's house.
Yeah, there you go.
That's luxurious, right?
Yeah,
Like, literally, you
bro.
guys have a house for Christmas and Thanksgiving,
Exactly.
which is awesome.
There you go, exactly.
God, hell yeah.
So crazy.
Oh my
Hashtag
God.
jealous.
Well, okay, we're gonna dive into our first break, and when we get back, we're gonna dive into Broad City. The broad in the butter.
And we're back from the break. Oh my God. Let's
was
get into the
crazy.
broad and the butter.
Well, please, show us.
The bottle of bottle.
Some broad for the table.
So I think one of the most
We're
beautiful
gonna Venmo for you guys after that.
one of the most beautiful parts of this season 2 finale is how much it references the web series and the other season finales. Like these girls are like tying a little bow around their little story. Like the Looking for Change is like their first ever episode, and then it's still the whole change thing, and then the Lil Wayne reference, and then of course the chase is classic when they had Amy Poehler chase oranges.
OMG.
All right, is this guys clicking for you?
This is clicking.
Clicky.
I
Actually,
love.
my sin is that I didn't even watch the web series. That's my sin.
No, you're allowed.
No,
to.
and by the way, like it's not. They privated it on video.
Wait,
what?
shut up.
That's crazy.
Wait,
It's
that's
on
nuts.
YouTube though, but not
Oh.
on their account.
What?
Weird.
Oh, well, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, that's
Damn.
everything.
I
There was a
accidentally found an
couple-
unlisted YouTube video last night, but it had nothing to do with Broad City. It was in fact a freestyle.
Talk on it.
No, but by all means,
It was a
please.
riff
I
raff
saw a video.
freestyle, and
I
I
saw a
needed it.
video.
I needed to find it.
It was completely
I saw a
different
video
than
once.
anything that we're talking about.
Yeah, and I found it. I don't know
Sabina,
how to
how is
find.
your housing situation?
It's bad. It's bad. It's not
There you
good.
go, there you
Before
go.
the podcast, we asked Sabina about our housing situation, and it wasn't good.
I'm
was a
sandwiched
movie.
between a man who wants to shoot me with a gun and a hoarder above me.
Who wants to shoot you with a gun?
I'm like, we should do a Patreon exclusive of you retaliate.
Wait, you know that fucking thing that's like, oh, it's a picture of like a bullet from the Union and from the Confederacy fusing together. Do you know this?
No, I'm
Okay, well,
unfamiliar.
basically, there's an image of a bullet from the Civil War, the both sides fusing together.
Sure.
And I think that that's going to happen with the neighbors shooting you both ways.
Oh my God! It'll
A
be in the middle of
shooting
your body.
sandwich.
Yeah.
They'll
Oh,
fuse
yeah.
together, hopefully not in me.
I don't know how I like
No,
how that
no,
image
no,
was
no,
so like
no.
pressed into my brain. And I remember like seeing it on like Facebook or something and being like,
literally.
"Fuck, that's so good." The bullets from the both sides of
It
the
really is
war.
like I said it earlier, but you really are visual and you really are audio.
There you
It's
go.
so
Like-
true. And there was a thing a little bit ago. Again, internet. I don't know where or who, but people being like asking the big question: do you think in like words or like pictures or whatever?
Yeah, what's your internal monologue?
And Sabina thinks in like concept, and I think in like
I know
a big long monologue.
The thing is, I don't have an internal monologue that's my own voice. I don't hear my own voice.
and
in
I'm
my
like,
head.
in my brain, I'm like, what's up, girl? Looking great today. Love you so much. Let's get some coffee. Ooh.
like thoughts are quiet for me. It's not my own voice. It's just words that I
and for me, it's like
understand.
it's like freaking some
Wait,
like
that's
Skrillex
really
playing
scary.
I
background.
really
I don't know
in my
how to
head.
explain it, but I'm like, I feel like it's most
Y'all are
people,
both in my head too.
I feel like most people hear their own voice in their head, and I certainly don't.
That's crazy.
It's
feel
like
like-
my voice, but like a lot meaner.
Absolutely.
It's my voice being so mean and then being like,
Yeah.
and
The
then
angel and
replacing
the
with like
devil.
3 nice
The toxic
things.
positivity be like
Compliment
let's-
sandwich.
Yeah.
Go, girl.
Compliment sandwich.
Compliment sandwiching yourself out of a suicidal ideation spiral.
Wow.
Is
I will say,
Perfect.
once
I
you
love that.
start sandwiching your own critiques towards yourselves, you're a better person to others.
absolutely
Oh, that's
compliment
beautiful.
sandwiches. That's how I need to receive anything, including like
We
potential like
definitely
diagnoses.
compliment sandwich each other,
100%. Love your jeans.
but
Fuck
it's
you.
all compliment.
Love your jeans. Fuck you. Love your shirt.
Love you, girl. You're my sunshine. You're evil, and I love you.
Period.
You guys
You're my
look
Mine's
good.
sunshine.
They're
You're
a
evil,
little
and I love you. You're not evil. Of course,
Mine
you're
was a
not
little
evil.
deeper than
You're,
mine.
you're pure of heart.
Oh,
thanks.
I love a sister moment.
Oh, we had
Did you
epic
guys
sister
turn
moment.
23 on St. Mark's too, or no?
Ooh, wait, where were we turned 23?
Oh, we were
out of college.
That was COVID. We turned 23 in COVID.
Oh, and that doesn't count. So yeah, we turned 23.
wait,
St. Mark's.
was COVID? Wait. Like we are because the city like literally shut down like either on or around our birthday,
Yes.
March 15th.
Yes.
So start planning our surprise party now.
Are
Yeah.
you guys Aries?
Pisces.
Yes, Pisces. yes.
Wow.
What we turned? I guess we turned 23 like literally when COVID was striking.
Yeah, we also
I think, or 22.
In college we were too well, I was too not I had a fake ID, but I was too shy to use it because I have no poker face, and if someone would be like, is this a fake ID, I'd be like, yes. So we didn't do
I
we
was the
didn't turn
opposite.
21
When I
until
got
the
my
end of
fakes
college.
taken, I was like, I need that ID to fly. It's my real ID. Give it
He's a
back.
psychopath. But so yes, I was too pussy to use like my fake or anything. We also didn't turn 21 until the end of college, so we were like mostly just
Oh, yeah,
using
'cause we
like our
skipped a grade
fakes to
till we
like
were
try to
younger.
get piercings and
Oh my
shit.
god, your college experience must have sucked then.
I mean, it was definitely the shit
There was
that goes
house
down in the
parties.
dorms and
Yeah,
people's
yeah,
apartments.
yeah.
It was like crazy style.
Yeah,
so
it was nuts.
we survived. Honestly, we saved a lot of money.
That's true.
Not going to
true.
But you
bars.
didn't get to go to Riff Raff.
No,
and that's
yeah.
terrible.
That's
that
scary,
sucks.
scary and bad. Scary and bad. But yeah, no. I'm trying to think of.
That would have killed me not to have a fake ID in college.
We had like one bar that we went to that like did not give a hoot.
No,
and So
totally.
that was like our main spot. That
My
we
cousin went to Northwestern. During her welcome week, I'm at a sleepover with all my friends. She calls me crying for 1 hour because she doesn't have a fake ID, and all her friends have fake IDs.
It's so spooky.
We had fakes, but like they were really bad. They were really bad. And
They were-
but
they were.
I got my last fake taken like maybe like 3 months before I turned 21, and like it was my end of the senior year of college. I had to have a fake, and so I like
Right.
got a new fake 3 months before turning 21. I was like, this sucks
No, but you
so
need
bad.
that.
You need it.
Oh, I absolutely did too.
Yeah.
Because I wanted one from like 3 different states.
Of course.
I've
Well,
never
of
had
course.
one.
We
Well,
had,
you went
I
to
had
school in
South
Canada.
Carolina
You're a good
and New
person.
Hampshire.
Well, you only have to be 19 in Canada.
Oh, history erases your Canadian, your Canadian heritage.
But
Damn.
Wait, that's crazy. You do only have to be 19 in Canada. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, well, and
Kind of like that in Florida. You have to be 13.
Of
you
course.
have to be
You
in
have to be
7th
13.
grade.
You have to be 13. They give you a beer when you turn
That's
13.
so
You an original
funny.
form
Your
of
driver's
driver's
license.
logo.
Lots of people had Florida fakes in college too because the
No, I
ID
did- I
used to
did.
look really
The IDs
fake.
look
The
bad.
Texas ID looks fake.
Yeah.
Because it's just that's what Texas chose to do.
Yes,
Of course.
100%.
That makes
And
sense.
so it's like the amount of times I've used my real Texas ID and they're like, you're too young. And I'm like, no,
Like,
and
say
I
that again, but slower.
it is real.
That's
That's
awesome.
crazy.
Really? Wait, were you guys doing BYOB?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There was the two.
What did she say? Biob?
Byob.
Byob.
I love Byob.
We did
I'd wash
Byob.
the dishes if they let me. That's
Yeah.
what it was. I do agree with that sentiment. That was a huge. There was like the two dueling, but also like in cahoots Indian
Right.
restaurants that have the lights and
The
they,
lights,
it's
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you want to hear? So there used to be 4,
yes.
Yeah.
but two of them shut down.
Closed.
But now,
Yeah.
want to hear this?
What's happening?
A third one has shut down. There's only one
Whoa.
left.
Oh my
Oh my
god,
God.
really?
In little India East Village.
So there's no
only
sense
one
of
left.
healthy competition, and you
No.
can't just go to the other one when one is too
That
full.
was so
food was all
exhilarating
bad.
to like plan on going
But
to
you could bring
one
out an
and then
entire bottle of wine and get so
Star
fuck
3-3.
wasted. It didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
matter if you
yeah.
were eating poo poo.
Panna 2. Panna 2.
Panna
They
too.
openly called my friend fat at that restaurant. They were like, "You don't need food," and we were like,
you
They're so funny here. I love this
He
place.
said the waiter was like, "You can sit at this table if he can fit," and I was like, "Whoa, whoa,
We're like,
whoa!"
pop bottles, la la la. We love
Yeah.
this city.
So
I've never been to a bar and brought my own wine.
I actually I went to a bar. It was a bad news because it was not
Never
a
went to a
BYOB.
bar.
We
Brought your own
discovered-
wine.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say one time I literally did go
a
to
restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Where is it? Not a bar. I mean, they
It
were
was like a
eating.
restaurant.
yeah.
A restaurant.
I love that
Traditionally,
they're
I don't know,
like-
I might be
I-
crazy. You
I
might not
go-
bring wine to a bar, and I don't know why I'm thinking that.
I
Absolutely.
have war flashbacks. I did that one time, and I was like, "That's so rude and horrible of me." But I literally had a bottle of wine and then ran into my friends that were like in the bar, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll drink this wine in the bar." And they were like, "You literally cannot do that." And I was like,
Whoa,
Yes,
that's
you
nuts.
can.
"I was like,
well, also
heard.
in college we discovered that the large swell bottles can fit a full bottle of wine.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That was
That is
swell. That was before
so-
Owala took over.
I know.
So when swell was new, it really swept the scene. By the way,
I'm so stressed right now. All week I've had one
Cup of water.
Stanley in my Amazon cart and one Owala, and I keep like
They're
every day
fighting.
I wake up and
Girl,
I'm like,
what
it's time to
water
get
bottle are you?
drinks.
The
Yes.
genders.
Get
Yeah.
both. Por qué no los dos? You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like when the Owala gets all full of black mold, that's when you pivot to the Stanley.
Right.
Yeah. Don't
And
bother
fill it.
And it's
cleaning
not
it.
an if.
Of course
it's a
not.
when.
It's a when.
yeah.
Literally, oh my god, yeah. In the freaking green room at Comedians Earnestly Singing Musical Theater, the amount of Owalas just shifted.
It was
something.
yeah.
And the smell was awesome.
LOL. Yeah, this is a really spiritual episode for me though, because if we walk into the first scene, it's an amazing, iconic moment where a guy is hitting on them, and we're like,
And they do
Of
the
course,
smile.
the-
They do the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
which to me is very YouTube coded.
And that
Yeah.
GIF on Tumblr, were y'all Tumblr heads? By the
Oh
way?
yeah. By the way, when they did that, I became a feminist.
Yes.
100%.
Something
100%.
shifted.
That
Something
was
shifted.
the
They're
day.
like, you should smile more. Oh God.
Woo.
What a vintage
but
like
people
sentiment.
don't say that anymore.
They
My
do
That
dad
was a loss-
does.
Oh no.
Tea.
He is the
you.
problem.
To you.
Yeah, to you. Oh,
He
That
needs
is so
you,
funny.
girl.
There was like
He's
I
like,
feel like
smile.
that's a little out. I think like people get a little more creative these days.
Well, we have the internet, so people aren't catcalling in this traditional way.
Catcalling is, I mean, yeah, true,
It's
true.
over.
You can be a
Yeah.
lot more harsh online.
Oh, of course. I've been told I look like Homer Simpson online.
when we were and then
Historically
Wait,
unhot.
that's a fun game to play. Who do you get called online?
We've
Homer
been-
Simpson, Danny McBride,
we've been
that
told
guy.
we look like the chicks from White Chicks, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh Jesus!
We've
Oh,
been
like Busy Phillips.
Not the
What?
girls.
No.
The Wayans
Wayans
brothers. No, of course, not the girls. The
And
Wayans
by the
brothers
way,
and
I
Whiteface.
watched that movie and somehow missed that they are dressing up.
Of course.
You're like, those two chicas are crazy.
These are some crazy chicas.
I was like, they have silly times in the
You're
Hamptons.
like,
of
those
course.
broad-shouldered chicas won't stop.
wow, they have Wayans brothers energy for sure.
That's crazy AF.
for some mysterious reason.
Wait,
Did
what
you
else
not
did
watch the first 15 minutes?
That's so just the part where they're all being
You're
divas.
like, what happened to those two crazy
think-
guys?
Once they get in the cute outfits, then she's locked in.
I legit remember watching it like during COVID at my parents' house, and I really do think I was like making a drink during the beginning, and that's why I missed
Then you
it.
were so
First
drunk,
time?
they looked so beautiful to you.
Of course, beautiful women. The first time I watched it all the way
To
through.
be on the premiere.
Yeah.
The first time I watched White Chicks all the way through was when I was coming down from the first time, or no, the second time that I did shrooms, and I had like a bad, like just nightmare, not nightmare trip necessarily, but I was just crying. And then I was like, what will calm me down? And then I just was like, I have to watch White Chicks right now, and it worked. So that was pretty
Okay.
fabulous.
Speaking of white chicks, well, back to the episode.
Well, sure. There's a couple of white chicks in the episode.
Two white chicks and
The initial like them strolling down St. Mark's, like passing the smoke shop where we would like buy smoke stuff.
yeah.
It's memory
And, like,
lane.
watch-
also, I
That is
just
memory
love the
lane.
little vignettes of like the child going by, going, "I'm alone."
That was awesome. The girl peeing in the street, like bin.
The girl
there.
peeing was so cool.
That was
Peeing
epic.
so real.
I literally loved
One time,
that.
Sabina and I saw a guy getting his ass eaten in absolute public on the
Absolutely,
street, and that was an awesome.
It was it was in the neighborhood for
It was
sure.
so amazing.
And then there was like they walked past this piercing place that
Was
like
it Boy
I
Boy?
went in.
It was boy.
It was
Yeah,
boy on
well,
boy.
It was
that
right
was-
outside of the clock.
Well,
Yeah.
that's legal.
Yeah.
100%.
But it was the dead of winter. I was like, that's so crazy to
They had
pull
to stay warm
down.
somehow, honey.
Yeah, to like lift up a coat
So
and
take
pull
their
down
clothes
jeans
off.
to
Yeah.
get in
Take your
there.
clothes off and shove your tongue in someone else's ass.
It was awesome just to stay warm. Gosh,
yeah.
like the
His
pioneers.
tongue froze.
Absolutely froze to the
Rose
butthole.
to the ass.
Like in A Christmas Carol
That's
or
so
whatever.
freaking funny.
Christmas Story.
Oh,
Hell yeah, that was
But
awesome.
I was trying to think when I was watching. I'm like, I don't even know. Oh, also, what was the other? Oh, someone walking by just going, sex, sex,
Of course.
sex. I'm like,
Well, I feel like
that's-
we've lost this New York.
Oh
Well,
my
yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
Because everybody's on their cell phone.
Well, if you look at the
And the man on the street TikTok
exactly.
people up in there, Washington
Oh,
Square
it's
Park,
true.
being like, "That's the worst date you've ever
Well,
been
Tree
on."
Man would have been on TikTok Live. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's no longer performance
Tree
art. It's no
Man.
longer for the joy of the community to witness
It's
him
for
dress up as a
roses.
tree. It's for roses. It's for galaxies.
It's for
I see a
CTA
lot
managers.
less, a lot less tree men, a lot less people painted completely metallic. Where are they?
Right.
Where the fuck did they go?
There
Well-
was a guy. I don't know if this was this on Broad City or was it just also in our life where there was that guy.
Ain't that the way?
in our life, Marvel. That's a freaking movie.
We're
There
totally
was
guys are perfect,
the
guys.
Abraham Lincoln. There was like the Abraham Lincoln impersonator that would always be in Washington Square
there
Park.
was an Abraham Lincoln impersonator.
And
Now
we
that's
had-
your life, by the way.
There you go. Okay, well, that's good to know. But there was this girl that we
Okay,
knew.
good.
There was this girl we knew who was like, I hate to use
You
this
hooked up with
played
him?
out. I wish.
I wish. That was
there was
me.
this played out. I hate to say pick me girl, but she was very pick me girl, and she was like, I have a pathological fear of Abraham Lincoln. We were like, good news, girl, he's dead. And then, but then we
Huge
saw.
news. You'll never encounter him unless you're really looking at pennies a lot.
Well, of course, but then we were like, you'll never see him, girl. You're safe. But then there was the Abraham Lincoln impersonator in the Washington Square Park, which was New York City.
and she was like
NYU's
so hot,
quad.
and like hot girls who like are looking for like a thing to have. She was like every time she would see him, she'd be like, ah!
Yeah, it's like,
and I'm like, he's
girl,
not. First of all,
relax.
this impersonator of
He
Abraham
doesn't want to fuck
Lincoln.
you. Come
That would
on,
work on me,
please.
by
Coming
the
for
way.
you.
That'd
Yeah.
work on me. I'd fall in love with
Literally.
her. It is so funny you
Yeah,
say
like
played
she
out.
actually seems awesome as fuck, and she should be in season 4 of
Can
the
we
Sex
book
Life of
her?
College
Wait,
Girls.
Yeah, no, you'd
I
love
raised
you
her
guys
up.
would love her.
I raise her up, girl.
It
Well,
was
when
funny,
you guys
though.
say girls played out, that's me, boy ran through. It is like those are the kind of the genders.
Yeah, played out and ran through.
Played out, ran through.
That's me and Sabina.
Tag yourself. Which one of us is played out? Which is ran through? Played out.
But
That's so beautiful.
You're both. We're all both.
I love the woman who dropped a tender and then picked it up and ate it.
I love that.
I
That's
think
me.
that occurred
Well,
in
New
my
York
life.
used to be cleaner.
Of course,
We're in a different city
Right.
now.
Are you guys worried about escalators? Because that actually doesn't scare me.
Wait,
Escalators.
what?
Like when you put your
no,
hand on
I
it,
understand that. Where is that coming from?
of like it's like when people are like, "Oh my god, this subway is so nasty," and
Oh,
I'm like,
no,
"Oh,
no, I
I'm
don't
putting
know.
my
No,
hand
I'm
like
grabbing.
on the bar."
Oh, I'm
not
grabbing
like
it.
a
I'm
germaphobe
grabbing
kind
it.
of diva.
No,
and
I'm
I
not
actually
either.
hate going to a restaurant and a girl being like, "I'm gonna go wash my hands before the appetizers
You
get
better
here." I'm
say
like,
that.
I'm
you
like,
better say that. I'm like,
bring with
first
you
of all, I'm
some
eating
hand
with
sanitizer.
probably fork or something, or
Fork.
if it's fried, whatever. The germs that are meant for me will not pass me. So if I wash my hands, like whatever. They
it's
already-
Germs
always
are meant
the
for me will
moms
not
who
pass me.
over hand sanitize their children that end up with the diseases.
No,
better
it's
say
food
that.
allergies. They're
Yeah.
always allergic to nuts.
Yes.
Literally, and
Yeah.
it's like you create your own reality.
You
Uh-huh.
have to inoculate
nut allergy
yourself.
is a state of mind.
Well, this episode has so many profound motifs in it. Can I say that?
Please do.
do.
Yeah,
I
let's
say-
talk about motifs.
I
Are you
love-
guys Jewish? No.
No.
And can you imagine? The day I met you, I thought you were Jewish.
I've,
No, that's
I've- many
beautiful.
people do.
Well, it's 'cause you're
many
MIU in
people
South
believe this
Florida.
about
Our
us.
stepdad was Jewish.
And,
It's
and
because
people
you
erase
know
that.
Jewish people.
Of
We
course.
know many.
I've-
One time
we
I was on a
went to-
Hanukkah themed show and I didn't really put together that they thought that it was because I was Jewish. I was like,
Yeah.
period, I'm doing a Hanukkah themed show that rocks.
We've
And
been
then-
in many more temples and
Yeah.
synagogues than we have
Your
churches.
last name sounds like a Jewish slur to me.
Fabulous.
There's 4 consonants in a row. It's SCHK. So that literally is like.
I know. Every time I have to type it into
It's
something,
harsh.
I'm
No,
like,
it's
why am I about to
hard.
throw up?
It's
No,
like
of
also a
course.
dyslexic's worst nightmare. It's like what the fuck
Yeah.
order doesn't matter. I get it wrong.
SCHK, that's not an order.
I get it
There's
wrong.
order
Notice how
should
only
be in.
Amelia said your name because I was too
Exactly
scared.
right.
Close to it.
I don't want to approach that.
I want it.
No.
Don't get near me with that.
It's scary. It's hard. only 2 vowels in
Right.
the whole thing. You know, like, that's
Damn,
crazy.
2 vowels in
And
that
it's
whole
only
thing.
it's the same. But no, short answer, no. But we are from South Florida, so that
We're
is
allies.
like,
What
Right.
name city? City name?
Town. We're from
Name
Jupiter.
city.
We're
name
not
city.
from-
I love
And
that
they
show.
picked the city down.
Yeah, we're from Jupiter, Florida.
It's more
like-
of a township.
Yeah, it's a town.
It's a Jewish
Do
town.
you know
too,
about
by the
Cocoa
way.
Beach?
I think so.
Vaguely, we know that it exists.
Well,
That's where people's
here's some
grandparents
points.
live.
Florida is so long.
Since we're not 23, I thought it'd be fun if we could kind of fill in the gaps when it was like when you're
When you're
when you're
21, you're allowed to become an alcoholic. Okay, so wait, like from 23 to our age.
Let's
Yeah.
do 16. They start
so
at 16.
at 16,
Sweet 16.
you're sweet 16, 17, you get
Well,
a
16
car.
to
Yeah.
me is when you first are allowed to be in the back of a limo.
Not if you're in Texas, because every 5th grader's birthday party, you take a limo to PF Chang's.
We
For sure.
When I tell you that our 10th birthday had a Hummer limousine.
Yeah.
That took
Only
us
this
to
is
a
for-
place called Wanna-Do City where kids could do what they want to do.
Please, South Florida.
Oh my
headed
god, I
that.
love those. You
Please.
get to have
That-
a job.
Yeah, you get to have
16
a
is when you get to
job.
have a job, but it's
That-
not real.
No, exactly. No.
No.
16 or 17 or like when we worked at Hollister for like a brief
No way.
stint when we were
I
like
think
16.
we literally did like 4 shifts
I know.
tops.
Because they just would hire everybody and then
Yeah.
whatever.
One
you
time
take
I
your-
saw someone shoplifting so much stuff and I just didn't do a thing. I was like,
'cause you're
I'm
like,
16 years
work it,
old.
diva.
I don't give a hoot and a half. I don't even know what kind of money I'm making.
No.
I literally just saw
You're
someone
making $6.50
fill
an
up
hour.
a bag. No,
You're
literally, I
making
was like,
6 figures.
somebody had a Hollister bag and then just were like taking things
That's
and just
so
filling it up.
funny.
And I was like,
That
they
is
saw me
so
see them.
cool.
And I was like, whatever,
17
dude.
is when you can shoplift.
That's,
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
that's
yeah.
when you learn that shoplifting is
I
powerful.
think I did
Yeah.
shoplift for the
18
first time when I was
is
17 from
adulthood.
Urban Outfitters. I stole a
Literally.
ring.
What was 19?
19? What is 19? 19 is kind of
19,
kind of
well,
poo-poo.
you
Didn't
think
she
it's
say the
past
last
18,
year? That's what
you-
she said.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, last
20, you lose your
18
virginity.
is when you can vote. 19 is when you really do
Period.
vote.
Mm,
That's
What? I don't know.
so silly. I love.
That's funny. Actually,
20, that thing.
20 is
21.
when 20 is when you I don't know what happens at 20.
So 20 is when you can lose your virginity for real.
Yeah,
it's
for
like
real,
if, you're,
sure.
if you're losing it before that, it's like, well, that's an experience that you can't count.
Me,
Okay,
me
period.
losing my
Oh,
virginity
that's
2
huge
days
news for
before
me.
I turned 21 because of this show.
Oh damn.
I was like, I have to hurry.
Wait, the guy I lost my
time.
virginity to was 20. I was a different
Whoa.
age.
Yeah. Oh.
And he was a
Period.
virgin as well.
You are much older.
I
Blowing
was
up his
much,
spot.
much older.
36, 37.
God.
Okay, wow.
Lord have mercy on my
21 is
soul.
not even about
22.
drinking because you already drank already.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah.
graduate college. 23 is a nothing birthday.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's true because 23 for a lot is, well, not your story, but it
Yeah.
is when you move to the city. It's the first time you can like be off your parents' phone plan.
Mhm.
You're
True, true, true.
not.
I'm not saying that's my story. I'm just saying.
But you
did
see
hear
and
the word
raise
I
up
said
the
to
I'm
people.
saying
Pam?
I've heard that it
I
has
said
happened to
can.
some.
Yeah, that's an operative word.
Yeah,
girl.
can.
I'm sorry. That was out of
We
line.
psychotically, 17 was when we moved to New York. That was psychotic. So that's like
Damn.
that was our
That's
little
too
thing.
young, I
Too young.
actually think.
Too
No,
young.
I
too
think that, yeah, we really hit the ground running in a big way.
Yeah.
Did you guys study film?
No.
I minored in film and TV production.
Oh, period.
I was an English major for the first 2 years and then I switched into TV writing.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And we didn't even start comedy till after college. I think that
That's crazy.
I think that
know.
I was like,
I was on the
What's the
sketch
big
group
rush?
at NYU, but
But
that
everyone who
wasn't,
did that is-
yeah,
I
I wasn't
was
standing
like,
up.
in my head, I'm like, you guys did UCB 101. The
Well,
day
in
you
college,
did.
we were
We certainly did. We were
taking
taking,
the improv
yeah, yeah, yeah.
classes.
We were, and we were like,
oh no, yeah,
we were improv camp counselors in high school.
No.
So
we
this is what a
were-
lie feels like. I'm glad I can finally figure it out.
That's what it is.
Annabelle, we didn't do comedy until after college. Hello.
I know we didn't like do
I
it.
took college. I did
You
comedy
were like, I will
writing.
put
I
on
was
a
at
show.
UCB.
No, we didn't do stand up until after
stand up,
college.
stand up, stand up.
Yeah, yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
We
That's
didn't do
almost
real
like
comedy.
No. I mean, yeah.
The way
It
I see
is-
stand up, like that's not real comedy
Yeah.
anymore.
We performed stand up at NYU, and I was like,
It
I
formed
feel-
a crack in my psyche
I've
that
never
may never
felt
be
more
repaired.
elderly and insane.
Well, when you first do
Whoa.
real comedy, is when you start feeling bad about yourself.
Yes.
That's it's like if you do it as a kid, it's all playful. It's
It's
fun.
play,
You're
You get to-
improvising, you're
Yeah.
yes anding,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you get to like New York at a mic, and everyone's like, "I hate my fucking
You don't do real
stupid
talk, but
girlfriend.
yeah.
I wish I could kill her."
Absolutely.
And you're like, "No problem. Everyone's got a darkness."
Yeah. Everyone's
got
got
a
a
darkness.
darkness.
Or where you find a darkness. However, my first and mostly only mic that I ever went to was the Lady Two Ranch mic, which was historically perfect. So
Yeah.
I had like
that's
a
my first mic.
treasured
we love
experience. Period. I also lived so close to Vital Joint, literally like where it initially wasn't. It
Yeah,
was like,
the basement.
it was a blessing. It was a blessing.
Okay,
I love the Lady Two Ranch.
we were I'm trying to think of
23,
birthdays.
24 was still COVID vibes.
Yeah, 23, 24, 25 was COVID. 25, 26
It's still
was
COVID.
awesome.
You actually
26,
don't learn anything past 23.
No,
and that's
honestly.
okay to say.
When does your frontal lobe harden?
25.
25.
Apparently, it's not real, though.
Oh,
I believe that.
period.
You're always
Mine's-
learning.
Yeah,
So it ne-
neuroplasticity.
So it never
Woo.
gets hard.
It's literally.
That's crazy.
Flash.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Flaccid forever.
My brain is
This, I
flaccid.
do love when they actually finally get into the. First off, it is so real. The process of trying to get into a restaurant in New York City. It's like
Oh, yeah.
one harsh lady trying to like coordinate a group of crazy kids outside.
know.
When
You're
she's
right.
like 3, 2, 1, you're done.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and you lose. Bingo, you lose, or whatever the fuck.
Lose.
Also, so true. I think also that is very much within my tax bracket and
Right.
experience. I
Absolutely.
feel like is like the St. Mark's restaurant
Well,
experience.
that restaurant is like something that's actually it's like it's a real restaurant. I don't know if that restaurant actually ever existed, but like that's what it means to go to a New York establishment,
yeah.
like something like that, where it's
Yeah.
like a
First come, first serve, but
Right,
also like
And they will
Exactly.
not seat an incomplete
Random
artist.
I hate to bring up Sex in the City again, but in Sex in the City, it's literally like it's like they have grown up jobs, so they're like, we're at this hip club and it's so rich and we can't get in that way, and I'm like, I don't relate to
That's
that.
boring.
I hate that because you're all wearing like gowns and heels, and I'm wearing like a jeans and sneakers type bitch. So
Well, remember, this is actually the beginning of concepts like open table.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
this is before
Resi?
Resi. It's before Resi. It is open table
Open
era,
table.
where you could finally go online and you could make a reservation through that platform.
Tea.
So you could only imagine Abby having so much fun going on open table, writing it down as Little Wayne.
Little, and as she
And
said
for
it, Little Wayne.
Little Wayne, that
Little
was awesome.
Wayne.
For 80 and Connor to really fuck up their night immediately wasn't.
That
Oh,
is so
wait,
fucking
I-
real. That's
I-
how you know you. That's how like
That part.
when you start to like go places and be like, I hope I don't run into someone I know. That's
but
when you're in
that
freaking New Yorker.
I love that I love that aspect of running into the last person you ever want to see, because like that in New York you think it won't happen, but it happens constantly.
And it's always who you don't want.
Of
No, I
course.
know.
Oh God. And I literally, it is the worst thing in the world at a restaurant specifically. Like that has so
I love when
many
he's like, can we move your tables together so you can talk a little quieter?
there you go. And I feel like in a situation like that, I feel like we've been in scenarios like that where Annabelle too shy to say no, and she's like, yeah,
Aw.
come
Aw,
sit
hey.
at table, come sit at table, and then I'm kind of like, no, and then we have
rubbing
to,
me.
I'm just that, instead of compliment sandwich, I'm just rubbing
I
you
don't like
while-
to be
while
rubbed.
calling you
I don't
shy.
like you
You're
rubbing.
shy.
Stop. I don't like to be rubbed and told I'm shy.
But also something that's so crazy is
Casting a
Annabelle and I. There's
spell.
been so many times where Annabelle and
you
I,
are shy.
where Annabelle and I've run into each other on the same train, on the same train car at the same time,
Oh my
not
God.
doing the same stuff, and I'm like, that's so crazy, New
I
York
love
magic.
How do you guys say hi to one another?
We're like,
yeah. And then we have
We're like, you
hugs.
guys look a lot alike.
And it's
we,
so
we
funny.
just
I'm
we
like,
silently just like mirror each other's
Yeah.
movements.
You guys
I
should do
love-
that.
you
You
It's
should
like a
freak
twin.
other people out on the train.
Like,
we should be like,
100.
I'm you from the future.
100%.
I'm you.
100%.
The Botox worked.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes, beautiful.
I'm you from the future.
I love that he does what's it called? His one man show.
And he jerks off.
Oh, that's
about it.
awesome.
That
Here-
that is
Wait,
so
that
real.
reminded me of a play that I saw where it was very, very almost worse than what he was describing. Where I did see
You're shy.
my friend. You're shy. You're shy. You're shy. You sniff my head. Now you're shy when I rub you. You sniff my head. Now you're shy when I rub you. We need to go back to couples
I
therapy.
told you not to scold me.
No, I'm not scolding you.
Amelia
I love
never
you,
freaks
girl.
out when I sniff her head.
no,
I
I
want
accept
Amelia
it.
to be my twin.
Fuck, fine. Me and Evan are twins now.
No.
But no,
Oh, I got the fucked up one.
no, fuck.
She doesn't have an internal dialogue.
Her brain is completely empty.
It's just tumbleweeds.
Oh, God.
But there was a play that I saw once. My friend brought me to see it, and the climax of the play is that involved a woman bouncing a man's flaccid penis with a ruler, and he was like kind of screaming profanity.
That is so disgusting. Where do I see it?
Yeah, exactly.
It
What?
was so crazy. I was
really
like,
fucked up.
it was a relatively normal play, and then there was just like magical
Well,
realism
what would make it a
involving.
play? If they didn't do that, it would have been a musical. Even
Would
if
have
they
been-
didn't
It would
do
have
it.
been some
But
sort
you
of
need a penis out to
improv-
make it a play.
100%.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I did
Theater
not expect to see
people
flaccid peen
love
getting
that stuff.
bounced on a
Uh-huh.
ruler.
What is? I also one time I
How
saw.
do you even like rehearse that?
Well, not to bring up Sex in the City, but this evokes a point where it's like absolute hunk. He's doing his play
Oh,
in Brooklyn.
yeah.
Samantha goes, you know what? No one cares about your acting. I'm falling asleep during the whole time. You get naked. I'm finally excited. She promotes it to the, I use the word, and she uses this word, the glitterati
Yep.
of Manhattan.
I love that
The
word.
glitterati shows up. I said it one time during categories, and my parents said I couldn't use that as a word.
What?
They said they were like a nice word to call someone. I wrote down glitterati. They said that doesn't count.
Homophobia
That's-
is
That was
rampant.
homophobic.
Rampant.
Hate
Sorry,
crimes.
different story, but like it is true. It's like a big part of a play is nudity.
Nudity, yeah.
100%.
I do like the moment where oh my god. What
Abby.
I know, Lou.
Alana.
You're shy.
80 Brian's
Oh, hell
character
yeah.
is being like, oh, you guys didn't respond to our Facebook event. Because this is a time
Oh my
where
God.
That was so
Facebook
huge. I miss
invite.
it. I miss it.
well,
I miss it. I miss
Facebook
it.
events were about community back in the day, right? Like we
100%.
think
Now we have
Partyful now
Partyful.
is, but I don't
Do
think
you
it is.
like
It's still
Partyful?
social.
I don't like
Partyful
Partyful. I'm
feels
sorry.
kind of. It feels too cool for
Why
school.
are they texting me? Get out of my
Right.
phone.
I do love it because I'm like, okay, period. I get
It
to
reminds
see.
me of stuff.
It's
I guess.
the Facebook of like who's going to the party,
But there's nothing worse than getting invited to an event, clicking going, and then the entire list is someone else. Someone
is
else.
someone
Someone
The
else.
entire list is someone else.
the entire list is actually someone
It's
else.
not your name. You're like, what the hell?
Wait, what
Wait,
the flip?
what
It's not my name
What
200
the actual
times.
flip? I also
That's
love
crazy.
the way that they're like, oh, Facebook, all the numbers. I don't understand that.
That's
I'm
me
like,
now trying to get back into my locked Facebook account for real.
Oh, that is true.
I've been emailing pictures of my ID like weekly.
Oh,
trying
I
to get
did
in
that
there.
and it worked finally after 3 months. They didn't get back
Okay.
and then they got back.
So if you're in line, stay in line. When Abbi and Ilana are in the wig shop and they're arguing about who's gonna die first. I was
Yes,
like, that is so
That's
us.
very you guys. I
That
was literally
is
about to say.
us.
Also, the t-shirts, the amount of times t-shirt name drops you brought up like upstairs before we recorded. I was like, thank God we have you for this
you guys
episode.
are t-shirt oriented.
Yes, I'm very t-shirt forward, I would say. And I have a reputation at the coffee shop I work at. There's so many regulars that are like, you always have the best sassy t-shirts.
And I'm only asking this because it's my roommate has this too. But it's like, is it because you have boobs?
the boob
Is
to
it boob
t-shirt,
related?
like
Is
like
it boob related?
Well,
in
sometimes
what
a boob
way?
Like the
will
big
distort a
t-shirt
Big
is
message.
related
t-shirt
to big
is to
boobs.
big boob.
I think it's like one of those things where it's kind of like, honestly, sometimes depends on the shirt. Because
Sure.
a boob can distort a message.
It
That's
can,
true.
it can,
A
it
boob
can.
can
A
distort
boob can
message.
transform
or
a
it
message.
could be like the reason.
or the
A boob is the
Or the
message.
boob is the
The
message.
boob is the message.
like
I
there's
learned that
some
in
shirts I
college.
have that I'm like, well, if I didn't have boobs, like I would never wear this.
Sure.
And then there's some shirts that are like,
I feel like I've just like lived a boobed life for so long that I'm just like I
but also even pre-boob, middle school, I was wearing shirts that were like, wait, what the fuck? Oh, PETA, people eating tasty animals or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, it's like
silly
Brew
shit
21's,
that.
like 2 peas in a
Oh
pod.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Delia's.
Celia's had the
Oh my
sauce.
God.
Delia's
You
had the
know I
little
still shop at
sauce.
Delia's via Adults Kill.
Well,
Of course. They have the goods.
They have the Delia's.
They have the Delia's. Yeah.
Delia's
I would
at
say
the
yeah.
Delia's.
Would you guys be Chala back?
Wait, what would happen
Or
if one of you
FBI?
died?
I'd be FBI. Oh no, you'd be FBI.
The other one would instantly die.
Would
Of
you
course.
feel it?
Yeah,
Wait,
forever.
would we be Chalabak or FBI? Sabina would be FBI, I think,
FBI.
and I'd be Chalabak. I would buy. That's some shit.
Was
that I
the
would buy.
tree man real in New York, or they made that up?
No, that's
I
real.
don't think I don't think I ever encountered a tree man, but I encountered many such street
No,
performers.
the tree man was real. I don't
believe
know
I
if he was
saw.
going around St. Mark's
I don't
in
think
that way.
I think you probably would have been in like
Times Square.
Or,
or Washington Square Park, yeah.
When
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
parkour over that taxi, it's like I'm laughing on the treadmill at the gym.
I mean,
I'm
well,
Elling my.
I was Elling my AO for sure. I was Elling my
Right, the
major
chase
AO.
sequence.
I'm
literally
like,
yelling my AO right
whenever I watched Amy Schumer's new Netflix movie last night, which by the way has
Whenever
only
I
1
watch
star
it.
reviews.
Wait, really?
Is that the one almost pregnant?
Almost, kind of pregnant. And
Almost
it's
pregnant.
like
I thought it was almost pregnant. I kept searching it into
Almost
Letterboxd. It's like, I
pregnant.
can't find it.
it's kind of pregnant. Everybody's mad. I'm like 5 stars. When a woman gets to do physical comedy, I'm like, this is so fucking funny, and I
Literally.
never would have thought of
Wait,
that.
I
I love that
No,
stuff. I
it's
love a
actually-
parkour moment.
And I don't, but like it's not so bad.
It's not.
That's
so
what
bad.
I've heard of Loki.
It's perfect. I'm like, moms would love this. We haven't had like a Bad Moms like sequel in so long. They need this.
Yeah,
Oh, we
that's so
watched.
true.
Speaking of, sort of also bringing it slightly back to Broad City, we were recently having to research Ilana for work because she was on Royal Court that we write for.
Yes.
And we were watching. She's done like so many pregnancy movies. She did like 3.
Yeah.
A
And-
horror, a comedy, and a drama.
And then
Literally.
And a musical.
Yeah.
That's not what that's a 3 trimesters.
I
Of
think
course.
it was. Wait, there was like one about like
For each
IVF, and then there was the one about Babes,
Yeah.
and then there was there a third or was it
I
just
don't
the 2?
know.
She was
I think it
pregnant
might
it
in
was
the
that.
show.
It was that Hulu one, right?
Yeah,
An
yeah.
after party, she was pregnant during the filming. So and it's supposed to take place in one night, but she's getting like larger
But she's-
during the one night.
That's so.
Haven't we all
like
had those
she-
pregnant,
yeah.
those one night
After
pregnancies?
party.
yeah,
The
the
show?
show after party.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
It was the
That was a show.
Cut that. Cut it.
Cut it.
The people can't know. I don't know.
Wait, I love.
I never asked to be born. Oh yeah, can we talk about this dude?
I've
the
known him.
FU
I've known
Right.
him.
So the
I've loved
premise
him.
is that they're walking to dinner and a man's reaching out to them. He's like, "Hey, do you have $1?" And they're like, "Sorry, we just gave $1 to the woman a second ago." He's like, "You can give $1 to me." And they're like, "We actually are going to a cash-only restaurant, so we can't give everyone $1."
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But he's like, "You know what? You guys are terrible women."
Yeah, he's like,
Mhm.
must be nice.
Must
And
be nice.
he's taunting them through their journey through St. Mark's, right?
Mhm.
Because they leave the restaurant early because they promised him their leftovers, but they
Yeah.
didn't actually buy anything because
And
they
the
had
wine
because of
and
the
the
wine
encounter, yeah,
incident,
yeah.
blah 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 blah. So then he steals
the present.
the present,
Oh yes, the gift.
the gift,
The
thank God
soft
it's
gift.
soft.
I know. I thought that too. I'm like, my friends get me a lot of like weed related gifts, like bong, ashtray.
It's
I'm
not
like,
soft.
I was like, when the bag got thrown, I go, God forbid.
Uh-oh.
It's
Soft
amazing
gift.
to have a personal brand because people can actually shop for you.
Oh my
Yes.
God, I know. I'm like, you can't go wrong getting me an
Wait,
ashtray.
what guy was on it?
What guy was on? What?
On the blank.
Yeah, who was that?
Oh wait, who was
I
on
don't-
the
was it
blankie?
a specific
Was it just a
guy?
naked man?
Or it was just a naked
naked
guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she was like, "This is the most inspiring blanket since the AIDS quilt." That was crazy.
That was
The
so-
AIDS pill. I was like, oh.
But then it reminded me.
Okay.
We also,
also
had
sitting
the,
on the ground. That was a very like.
That's wholesome.
That's
Wait, oh my
wholesome.
God.
The fact that
and
it's an
then
old style pizza parlor.
having
We've
the
done
dollar
that too.
pizza.
We've sat on St. Mark, or no, outside of Webster Hall we've sat on the ground
Oh,
with a
yeah,
blanket
of course.
over us.
And also, but oh my gosh, we used to, our first apartment that was on 2nd Avenue and 4th, we lived between a deli and a dollar pizza place, and we drove past it the other day, and now it's $1.50 pizza
It's
place.
crazy.
It is.
The
it is.
fuck?
So the rich
FML.
guy with the FU tattoo on his neck.
That's awesome.
On his neck, he
That's
steals the
awesome.
gift.
Actually, people that are wealthier steal more.
Yeah,
I-
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
We
yeah.
had one of
Say
our
that.
we had a friend who was
Say
so
that.
like very, very come from money, who was like a chronic shoplifter, but in a way that benefited the whole friend group. Because if we wanted something at a store, we'd just be like, "Wow, I really like that," and then we'd leave the store and they'd be like, "Guess what I stole for
She
you?"
wears a puffer in the summer.
It was
Literally.
awesome. It was so sick.
Cargo
I was
pants
like,
and a puffer,
this
just
rocks.
clinking and clanking.
I think they
around.
literally like reoriented that specific entire store so that the like
could
now the
steal.
checkout is like in the corner, so they could see the whole store. It used to be in the middle, so there was like lots of blind
Oh,
spots.
yeah.
Now it's in the corner.
And there was no
A checkout
cameras.
should never be in the middle, though. That's bad for feng
No.
shui.
It
Yeah, it is.
absolutely is, and
It
it's
is.
confusing and doesn't make sense to
Yeah.
me.
Literally. And they always do Bath and Body Works that way.
Yeah.
The checkouts, for some reason, always in the middle of the ones I'm
Central
attending.
location. That's
Or
bizarre.
Sephora.
Like, I'm
Sephora's
stealing.
addicted
Oh,
to
yeah.
a middle checkout.
Well, have you guys been to Sephora recently and they're like, by the way, this isn't the checkout counter. Go to the front of the store where it's
Weird.
just a girl,
with
standing.
an iPad.
Wait.
And then I'm like, where do I put the stuff? And
Haunting.
she's stressed, and they're like,
Everybody's
this is
stressed.
fun.
If you're paying with a card, I can check you out in the hallway. Like, what
Outside the store.
It doesn't make sense. It scares me. But okay, so squircling back, this fake broke guy asking for money. It's like
I love
that's
when Patricia
literally-
Clarkson sits down on the stairs and airs out her punana.
That's awesome.
She like sits on the stairs and like airs her skirt,
Well,
and I'm
that's
like,
fabulous.
that's funny.
I
She
love
gives an
her.
amazing 2-minute performance.
She
She's
does.
funny
I
as
feel
fuck.
like you're about to make an amazing
Yes.
point.
Oh, I just was like, it reminds me, like we just went to college with so many guys exactly like that, and
Oh, yeah.
like God bless them all. But it's like, oh man,
They'd
okay,
be like, no, I grew up rich, but like it's actually hard because my mom's a cunt.
yeah, there was
And we'd be like, totally.
My whole thing is like, the chase sequence is beautiful. It's fun for them to chase a ninja warrior
Of
across
course.
New York City.
Yeah.
That's
when
cool.
Abby says, I'm going to go downstairs and loop back around the normal
It'll be
way.
so
Yeah.
fast.
It'll be so fast.
I'm gonna go back to the kitchen. It'll be so fast. Something I feel like this kind of makes me think that like I never am running really in this city. There's nothing really
I'm
worth
addicted to
chasing.
running.
Oh my god.
Like it's like I'm not gonna run to catch a train. I'm
Well,
not gonna
there's-
run. Like
What's
it's
meant
just
for me
like
will not
That's
pass
so
me.
interesting.
Yeah.
No, running
That
is
is such a good
fun.
perspective. We run to every train we've ever
Oh my
gone
God.
on.
no.
I stopped running years ago.
No,
Well, have
I
you guys
just
read
like
the
I don't
book
chase,
Girl
I
with a Pearl
attract.
Earring before?
no.
They quote that the only people that run are children and vagrants.
Oh, that's
That's
so
hilarious.
nuts. I mean, yeah. T.
That's such a silly, fucked up quote.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Children and vagrants.
And
That's
that's
crazy.
True. It's
Yeah,
only
that
people
is
run.
true.
But and me, because
That's actually the saying. Children,
And
vagrants, and
alternative comedians.
yeah.
well, I want to show a manic pixie dream sometimes. And
Yeah.
I think like more being manic pixie dream, wearing like baggy pants and running
yeah.
nowhere.
Running
That's
makes
again,
you
and
a
I-
focal point.
To bring
yeah.
up Sex and the City yet again, Carrie Bradshaw always running. Why are you
to run
running?
in heels is chic.
Boy, he's 34 years old.
Hell yeah.
Boy, he's 34 years old.
But it is what a boy is. A boy's state of
A
mind.
boy
Yeah.
is forever.
Now, did you guys, after seeing the mom react that way, be like, maybe it is hard to be him?
I
She's
do.
like,
I
you
envied
couldn't
him.
afford me because you don't work.
Yeah, I envied him. I was
I've
like,
been
I
sort of
wish
told
that
that
I
by my
had
mom.
a
You guys
mama
have
who
a
lived in city.
psychologist mother, it sounds like.
was
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
She also, she was like a therapist in the locked ward of a mental hospital, so she was prepared for crazy children to make them and to heal them.
Yeah.
To break and fetch.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Well,
and she was a
the poor woman
social
got
worker
bored.
too.
She had to do
Yeah,
something.
come on.
Yeah,
She needed to get an LCS dub.
Exactly.
Come on now.
And LCS dub.
LCS
Yeah,
dub.
I do. I
I don't know what the hell
unfortunately
that
I
means.
envy a Timothy. I'm like, I wish I was Nepo, bro.
I wish I could be grumpy in a 7-story brownstone
I
in the middle
know.
of the
I
West
wish I
Village.
could have angst like with generational
The thing
wealth.
is, they are running east, but they end up in the West Village.
I know. That is so funny.
That is
That's
so
exactly.
wow.
It looks exactly. I used to babysit for like a family that had a
Right.
super nice house, and I was like,
They had mice.
they did have mice.
They
They did
literally
have.
I remember one time
stopped
you-
the musical, and now they're in the West Village.
Yeah, I
that would
know.
never make sense.
Hello.
You are always, every episode, you're like, well, that continuity
You
error.
should have been the script
Sorry, I
consultant.
care
Yeah.
about
That's like in
Manhattan
again,
Playout.
Sex in the City. All the New York shows are related. All the New York
Literally.
white women
Wait,
shows are
I'm going to
fucking
do a
related.
Lord supercut of all the Sex in the City.
Yeah,
Whoa,
please.
you
Put it
must.
on YouTube Shorts.
Well, and I do love, so they finally get back the shirt from him that he stole.
Hell
or
yeah.
that
The
blanket,
blanket.
sorry.
Blanky.
No, they don't actually get it back. He like lost it. Doesn't the tree man bring it to them, or I made that
Oh,
up?
yeah. Tree man brings the
tree
wig.
brand
With the
brings
wig,
the
yeah,
way.
yeah,
The
yeah.
tree
the
brings
wig,
They
the
do
wig.
get the gift back,
They get
and then
the
they
gift
walk out with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the tree brings the wig.
The
Tree
thing
brings
is, the
wig.
wig is probably, was it more expensive than the blanket?
Well, the
Ooh.
The
I
wig
don't-
was 10.
The wig was
shirts were
$10.
Shirts for
one.
one.
Where is a $10 wig? Point me to a $10 wig.
St. Mark's, honey.
But even I don't even think. I think like we definitely would see
Also,
a wig.
wait, the
No,
the
we're
Jiggly
getting a Chanel
Caliente
store in St. Mark's
cameo.
the
Did
next
we
few
talk about
months.
this?
Jiggly Caliente.
The Jiggly
cameo.
Caliente
That was
cameo.
huge for us too because we've always
The
been
drag queen
Race
that is
heads.
that is the cashier in the wig store.
Oh,
Jiggly
you
She's
know
from
Caliente.
her?
Drag Race.
We don't
Oh
know
my
her
God.
personally, but
Not
we
personally,
know her
but
spiritually.
No,
It
of
feels
her,
like we
yeah.
know her. We know her in
Well,
up
this
here.
is really a time where RuPaul's Drag Race really started taking off. It
Oh,
started becoming
absolutely.
like such a cultural
We
touch
were
point.
watching it like I made my first boyfriend watch it when I was like 15, and I was like, "This is subversive." I mean,
I gotta say, I think it's on its way out because I went to
What's the death rattle of Drag Race?
I
for
went
you?
to the showing at the $3 bill side thing. What's it called?
9 Bob Node.
9 Bob Node, and
That's like
Whoa,
so
whoa.
many random.
And I
never known
was
that.
looking around the room at people
Bing,
watching
bong,
Drag
bong.
Race on Friday night all together, and they were all phoning it in, and they were all pissed off, and they were all
Yeah.
like, "I'm kind of over these
Well,
That
The
shenanigans."
makes
problem is
sense.
that we've cared about so many generations of women.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to care about more, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to invest yourself into like traders characters in the same way or survive because they don't have careers that are based around being a survivor anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Once they're done being survivors, they become personalities. Drag queens never quit being drag queens.
Mhm.
Their
Forever.
craft is on stage. It's on the
You're
TV.
born
and
Unless
then
the
they
rest is
really
drag.
hack the podcast
yeah.
industry.
Unless they really,
Absolutely.
but like it's the same thing they're doing. It doesn't. It's continuous. So it's like you really care about them in a way more intimate way than you would care
Mhm.
about other reality
Absolutely.
TV
Grow with
shows.
them.
So it's hard to keep adding new women to the mix. We can only
Of
make so many
course.
connections.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That
a
makes
I'm
beautiful
sense.
single-handedly
story.
keeping the franchise alive.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
wait.
love it.
We have to wrap up and then cut to our second break and then do the rest.
Yeah.
I did want to say that when Abby said she finished Damages, I was like, this is just like in Girls when Shoshana loves Damages.
I
Oh
love
my
that. But you know
God,
what
through
stuck with
line.
me about that specific line? And I just like, this is not even a real plot point, but I just love like her accent when she says damages.
Yeah,
I
the
was
way
like,
she says it.
I love like regional New Yorky accents. Like I love them so much.
When you watch this episode, are you figuring that it's like it's a wrap of the season and they're ready for season 3, or does it feel like they could end the show here? Like I always like to think about that in the last episode of a season.
I feel like
I
it's
like
a
that they focus on the
peaceful exit.
female. Yeah, I think so. I think that, but I also like that it's like season finale. Like it's just about them. It's just about the two
Right.
girls.
Exactly. It's
No
just
boyfriends.
Yeah, I like that
No
too.
nothing.
And it felt like, the episode being like called St. Mark's, kind of existing mostly just in one location, like on this psychotic street. Like I liked that. It was very even in the moments that weren't like, Abbi and Ilana focused, it felt like we're ending with the main gals.
This is a very New York episode.
It's a very like Broad City
It's
is
inside
about female
baseball.
friendship and the third character of New York City.
The third character of Tree Man.
Well, I can only imagine watching this like as someone who I'm from New York, so it's like a little different, but not from the city. But watching this as someone who like has only experienced New York through media and seeing an episode like this where like I've only seen it through these specific lenses like Sex and the City or like Good Morning America, so I only have like
True. That is such a
reference.
window into New York. That is so
Yeah.
real.
No,
Oh
it's
my
true.
God.
Like 30 Rock. It's like whatever's going on there, that's what New York is.
Yeah.
That's my picture of New York. And then I see something like Broad City. I'm like, oh, there's this real alt world there.
You can just walk around.
And it's so beautiful. Like and the thing is New York can expand into other cities. Like we were at the placenta party we went to on Friday.
God.
A girl said, oh, I moved from Atlanta, but Atlanta just got Bushwick last year.
oh my God.
I love
It's
that
true.
girl.
That's awesome.
We
But
just
that's true.
got
It's like
Bushwick.
the ethos of Bushwick, it's like people look at this neighborhood and they're like, there's a real alt culture here that
Yeah,
lives.
the
And then
Bushwick, yeah,
you
yeah,
can go
yeah.
to these other cities and like there's pieces of Bushwick and all of them. Like
That's
it stuff
true.
starts
There's
here
Bushwick
and
in
expands
all of us.
outwards.
Yeah.
Totally.
Damn,
Hell
that's
yeah.
so real.
Yeah.
Anyone can cut their bangs very short.
Yeah, and I will say it was so electrifying to be watching Broad City as it was airing. Like this episode too, like our dorm was like 3 blocks away from St. Mark's. Like oh my
I can
god,
only
Yeah,
imagine
like
how
this
magical
song
that
is
felt.
about us.
No,
Yeah,
literally.
is this fucking
It
play
was
about us?
awesome.
Well,
It's the best
were
feeling
you-
on earth because I went
It
to
was
Tulane
awesome.
and they would always film like Bad Mom on my
God.
campus.
Oh my God.
Literally at my dorm.
Bad
So
Moms?
Bad Mom, Scream Queens, they're all filmed in my college. So it's amazing to like go to where they like beat up a man in Scream
Yes.
Queens and be like, I'm gonna get sushi here. It's like it's
Yes.
so
Awesome.
fun.
No,
Get
I
Panera.
love-
I love.
Yes.
Yeah, truly.
It's
Yeah.
a magical feeling to see the places that you live in
Of
on
course.
TV. It's it makes it just so much more special.
True.
Yeah.
I used to babysit like a block from where from the exterior
Yeah.
of Carrie Bradshaw's apartment, and I was just like, New York.
I know. It really
great.
helps.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Oh, and that's why I love media.
Literally.
Literally.
rocks. We love that
Literally,
stuff.
let's cut to our second break. And when we get back, we're going to find out these girls' Broad City moments. Annabelle,
Hey.
what is your Broad City moment?
Wow, okay, so it's tied, but it both happened at the same internship. So sort of, I was interning at a production company, and one time I was on a little errand. For the listeners, I'm using my middle finger and my pointer finger as if it is a tiny person walking. You're familiar with the form. And basically, I was performing an errand, and an angry man threw a full unopened can of Coke Zero right at my back.
No.
And I was like, not even
that
full
must have
calorie.
made quite a sound.
I was just going through it.
I was like, not even full
That was
calorie
actually
Coke.
your Broad City moment. Was throwing a can of Coke at someone.
I know. I was like, and it's not even a real like full cal
It's not
Coke.
full
Call me
sugar.
ugly. Like just call me ugly instead. And then at the same internship also, it was just like, I was just, internships are a farce. I don't know.
Literally.
And
You're
so
like, I'm trying to learn about the industry.
meanwhile, I'm literally
I
getting
think that
getting lobotomized by a fucking can of Coke
Didn't
Zero in the middle of the
they
street.
right after we had been made to do unpaid internship after unpaid internship was when they outlawed it, and we had already put in so
I mean,
many
I'm sure they're
hours.
still doing unpaid internships.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
By
We
the
do it for
way,
course
like I'm
credit
pro.
now.
I'm bro.
It builds
I've done
character.
enough.
It's like I got so many opportunities.
Absolutely.
And so many. Another one is
Opportunities to go to the mailbox and bang
And
in
to
the
get-
coffee room.
Can I get a can of Coke Zero?
At
Her
Opportunities to get a can of Coke Zero thrown
Wait,
full speed
right,
at my
and
head.
Did you
followed.
say who threw it? Was
an
I not active
angry
listening?
random man. And
was
at
a
that
guy.
same job, another little Broad City moment I feel like would have been like a thing that would have happened to Abby. Was even though I am sort of Ilana presenting, I think I have like Abby's luck, and or lack thereof. And so I was interning at the same place, this freaking fancy schmancy whatever like VR production company. It was very strange when the headsets first started coming out. And one time they were like, "Oh, it's a slow day at the office. Do you want to just play through the entire VR like Martian Matt Damon movie video game and then you're done with the day?" I'm like, period. I'm not getting paid anyway, so might as well fucking move some potatoes into a bin like in a VR Martian world. And then when I finished the game, the everyone was gone and the office was closed. And I was like, oh, I guess I should lock up. So those are my two little Broad City moments. I feel like those were just moments where I was like, oh,
That's so
That's
funny.
Abby AF.
it was Abby AF. I had many like an internship or a job where I was just kind of not. I didn't. Well, Sabina sort of. Oh, sorry,
What'd I
I'm
do?
speaking for you. I was sort of more like Ilana in the way like Ilana was like a crazy person working in an office setting. And I also interned at a law firm. That was my like another Broad City moment where I
Meanwhile-
was like the bitch in
Having
a
a job.
sleeveless hoodie. Like
Did you wear a blouse?
I would blazer occasionally.
Cool.
It was an entertainment law firm, so I was like, I can be a little silly. But then
Oh.
I tried answering the phones one time, fucked it up, and cried. And
Damn,
it was crazy. And then I thought, again, similar to how at the beginning, I was like, I can explain myself to internet haters. I was like, I'll explain why I'm sobbing to my supervisor.
Oh, girl.
And he just was like, okay. It was crazy. Anyway, so I just had a lot of misguided jobs and bad luck.
Wait, that's so nuts.
But
And I was briefly Lincoln because my first job after college was at a like fake dentist place.
Oh my God.
And I was
What
kind
made
of a
it
fake
fake?
dentist. It was like a startup for aligners for teeth, which it's like you shouldn't be
Oh.
starting up anything
it-
dental.
Yeah.
They shut down all the storefronts, but I was doing intraoral scans of people's mouths when I was 21 years old. So I shouldn't, but I was trained. But it was like, damn, I was a fake dentist for like 2 years. But that's like my Broad City moment. But I'll
I went
sit
to
on
one
that.
of those in Beverly Hills, like, and then like 2 weeks later, it had like shut down because it was sued so bad, and I was like, thank God I
Totally.
didn't
so
do it.
bad.
Yeah, sued to death.
Totally.
Dental has some like weird lines. I remember this girl in high school. She did an internship in Haiti, and she got to pull teeth the whole time.
Oh my God.
she got to pull teeth. It's so funny. Like it was like she got the pulling
She's
teeth job.
desperate
Like
for an experience.
that's
That's
amazing.
so crazy.
That's actually crazy.
It's like either play with the kids or pull these teeth.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I saw
not
some
both?
crazy stuff in people's mouths. That was nuts.
Like what?
There was a person who had
Teeth?
green stuff on their teeth.
Wow.
And then that same person was like, you seem cool, so I'm going to ask you something that's a little unprofessional. And I was like, lay it on me, I guess. And they were like, can I go down on my girlfriend while wearing these aligners? And I was like, sure. Honestly, your teeth are already green.
Wait,
Might as
You
well.
I
might
hate
as
to
well.
bring this up, but
Please.
I did learn that like if you are known for biting while giving blowjobs, wearing Invisalign is actually really helpful for that.
oh,
Oh.
because it kind of if you're known for biting.
Wait, I had a dream last night that I
like my mom.
this is unrelated. I had a dream last night that I bit someone really hard, not on the peener, but just like on the shoulder or something.
With Invisalign.
Not even bald with my teeth bald. I should have had Invisalign on. Gosh. Anyway, that's I was a dentist freak.
But that's really amazing. By the way, it's like that's really helpful for people that accidentally use teeth when giving
There you go.
head.
It's just
I
put
don't-
in like a mouth guard.
yeah,
Look at
literally.
this little
I don't
rusted-
think Invisalign would do enough.
It does.
Not for
'cause
my
it softens it.
Not for me.
If you're determined enough, you know, you can
You can make it
you can make something shake
Sorry,
for sure.
I forgot how crazy the three of you are.
Sabina,
Yes, please.
what is your Broad City moment?
A couple years ago, I was framed by my
Okay,
upsta-
literally, that's hilarious. Also.
I was framed
Framed.
by my upstairs across the hall neighbor, not the hoarder, a very kind girl, for stealing a bodega cat because
Free.
it
She
was.
framed you for stealing a bodega cat.
It was like it was like framing by inaction. Like
This was a
she stole
cartoon-ass
the cat.
situation.
It was so crazy. So I got an Instagram DM from a virtual stranger that was like, to me and Annabelle, a photo of me on a security camera for a deli. It was a me with like my headphones walking down the street outside of a deli, and the person sent this security camera footage photo. And was like, whichever twin this is, like y'all need
First
to
of all,
give
whichever
rude.
twin.
no, rude,
Rude as fuck.
very rude. Whichever one of y'all this is needs to give the deli their cat back. And I was like, what the human fuck are you talking about? And
Because also, not only do you not give a fuck the difference between us, you think both of us are likely to steal
a deli
a deli cat.
Like hello. So oh my god, it was so nuts. So then I like so then I posted about it on Be Real. This was a couple years ago. Be Real was popping off. Posted about it on Be Real. My upstairs across the hall neighbor saw it. We don't look alike, but you could theoretically use similar adjectives to describe us. We're both like blonde-ish, nose piercings, and we have the Apple over-the-ear headphones. And so
Okay, Rich.
these, I got it through your roommate who used to work at Apple, who got a 25%
Well, you guys didn't
discount.
ask me born.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Come on.
Must be nice.
Also, sorry, but that delivery of that line was just so strange. I didn't ask to be born.
Okay, T.
Sorry.
It was beautiful.
But
Thank you.
yeah. So then the girl, my upstairs across the hall neighbor, saw it and was like, "Wait, what? When was this? Because I rescued a cat from outside a deli yesterday." And I was like, "Well, girl, the
Yesterday.
mystery's been fucking solved. You stole a cat, and they think it's me." And the girl who messaged me the picture of the security camera footage was like, "Yeah, they're showing it to everyone, saying you stole their cat." And I was like, "That's awesome," because it was 2 blocks away from my apartment. And then the girl was like, "I'll clear your name. Like, I'm gonna go and tell them it was me, and like I'll give the cat back, and everything will be fine." Blah blah blah. But she had taken the cat because she saw the cat outside the deli, took it and immediately gave it to a friend. And so she was like, I don't even have the cat.
No paper
So-
trail.
Exactly. I was like, that's so nuts. I was like, well, please go tell them it wasn't me. So they stopped showing my photo to everyone who comes into the deli being like, she stole our cat. Encouraging what? Vigilante justice? I don't know. And so I was like, yeah, just go and tell them it was you. And then the next day she texted and she was like, I'm actually too scared to do that. So I'm just going to have my friend drop the cat off and like, then it'll be fine. I was like, they're still going to think it was me that stole it. So yeah, she was like, it was me, but I'm not going to tell them, but I will give the cat back. And I was like,
Did you
cool.
text her this?
but did I text her what?
Was it text or face to face?
Oh, text. I was like, she texted me
you
being
can
like,
bring it to the deli as evidence.
that's true.
I'm like, you should do a special episode of Shop Cats with Michelle
Yeah,
Adana.
No, literally, this is the one that I stole. It was so crazy. I was like, this is so, I was so stressed out because I was like,
It was
she's
really
not-
funny. Ultimately, like I think as someone outside the situation, it was funny from the get go. But as the person being framed, Sabina was like
I was very
life
stressed.
life or death stressed, and I was
Because I was like,
you're
they're
gonna laugh at
showing
this in a
my
few minutes.
photo
Really
to
funny.
everyone, and then I was like, that's so crazy. But then the girl, she's a sweetie pie, and I adore her. Honestly, I'm flattered that people get us mixed
Right.
up. Our neighbors all think that I'm her. No one ever thinks that she's me. But yeah, she felt bad, and then so she used to work at a perfume company and got me an expensive bottle of
Or
perfume.
about that.
So
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
actually really
I'm
sweet, and I
addicted
would
to her.
forgive her.
No, literally, I forgave her. I was like, this perfume changed my life. So
Wait.
it's I don't know what from.
I'm now
won't-
desperate to
I
be
won't say where
framed
she
for
works,
that.
but that's the perfume.
I wish
it's
someone would
called.
frame me and then give me an
I'm not
expensive
gonna
perfume.
literally.
What the fuck?
And we're
I know,
gonna
it was
invite her
worth
to
it.
collab.
Literally,
Yeah.
please.
She's so cool. I wish she was still on Instagram. But she's not.
That's all
R.I.P.
the cool
that's
people.
why she saw it on Be Real because I also posted about it on my
the
Instagram
cool people
story.
are leaving Instagram. I think.
Instagram
For
stories.
Be Real, it's
Not even
like,
for back in the day.
Get
That's what it was.
serious.
Get real.
Back in the 2 years ago. That's what it was.
All right,
we have
our
one last group of questions for you.
Please, please.
Girls, get your Glock. It's rapid fire time.
We're going to ask you both a series of rapid fire questions. Please answer as quickly as you can. Don't
can.
think twice.
Are you
All right.
schoolgirl or are you gonna get schooled girl?
Schoolgirl.
Schooled girl.
How
Whoa.
are you?
That's how I am.
Better than that.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, or Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Reuse.
Are you the voice of your generation or a voice of a generation?
A voice of a generation.
We are both the same voice.
Who would you rather go down on, Michael Bublé or Janet Jackson?
Janet Jackson.
Michael Bublé.
That's how we know you're
I'm
straight.
Michael
girl.
on his Bublé till he
Till he
I don't know.
Janet's my Jackson. I don't know.
Do you think they own or rent?
Rent.
Oh, right.
Right. Do you love Biob?
I do
Yeah.
love Biob.
Illy Biob.
I love
Really?
Biob, but more than Biob, I just
Ali
pregame
Biob.
instead.
Do I look like the son of a quarterback?
Not at all.
No.
Thank
Not at all.
Thank you. Do you want your funeral party to go to Six Flags after?
Absolutely. Or maybe a medieval times.
I want them to go to Epcot.
Literally.
And drink around the world.
Spread my
Epcot.
ashes around Epcot.
Literally, please.
Are you proud of when I saw something and said something?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, you guys ate that up.
Yay!
Thank you guys so much for doing the pod today. We
It's
had such
my
a good
pleasure.
time.
Yeah,
Where
this
can
was
the people
heaven.
find you?
We are on Instagram, Sabina Lily Arms and Legs, and together we have a monthly show at Union Hall every third Friday of each month called Triplet
Triplet
Auditions,
Auditions.
which
Hell
you
yeah.
can also
and
find.
while we're at it, watch Royal Court on YouTube.
Absolutely.
If you like, you know, you'll be like, those questions are awesome. We write them.
we write them. We do.
Pretty cool.
We do.
Yeah.
Those questions are
beautiful.
awesome.
No,
Really, thank you,
literally.
and we write them.
Thank you so much. We write them.
Every time I see like a clip of that, and I'm like, I know that somebody wrote that.
Period. And it's
Yeah.
us.
It's gonna go ahead and
We
be
did
us.
it.
Well, thank you guys for listening to season 2 of Broad City. We had an amazing time with them. You can please follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and it really helps our SEO if you can also leave a review.
Leave a review with the keywords broad and city. It'll change our lives.
It would be so helpful. And we also just want to hear how you guys thought about the episode. So leave that in the reviews and the comments on Spotify as well. This will now be video on Spotify. So
That's so
a
high
new-
tech.
Yeah, we're in a video program now at Spotify again.
This is just like Call Her Daddy.
But you can also find us on YouTube or
Whoa.
anywhere else you find your podcast.
Thank you, Unwell, for signing us. We'll have you back next
We'll
week.
see you next week. Bye.
Bye.